Welcome into NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here alongside Tom Downey. And we're going to be running through some Austin Ekeler trade destinations. We are filming this right now in the middle of day 2 of NFL free agency. And with the current rate of how slow some of the signings have been, we might be live all month long. So make sure to subscribe and do not miss a single thing. With that, let's jump into some Austin Ekeler trade destinations as the Chargers are letting Ekeler search for a trade. He wanted a new contract. Two sides couldn't come to an agreement on it. So now the Chargers are telling Ekeler and his agent, see what you can find in a trade, and if it's a good deal, we'll make a trade happen. He's only got 1 year left on his contract, and he's got a base salary of $6.25 million. That's the number teams will be looking at because that's what they would be taking on for this year. Although I'd have to imagine if Ekeler's getting traded, a part of the deal would be,
new deal.
I want a new contract. So.
Which isn't a huge surprise. I think this is very clearly driven by the lack of a contract getting done between Ekeler and the Chargers. The running back market, unfortunately, is not player-friendly. It is very mean to running backs because if you are lucky, you get one extension.
Right.
Eckler's now going for his second extension. That is a significant standpoint from that overall. He's still a good football player. I think he's still, wherever you want to rank him among RBs with the third down value that he carries as well. There is an impact, an influence there. But how many teams really want to pay what I would assume at minimum is $10 million per year at the running back position and give up something resembling a draft pick, whether it's early day 3, late day 2, whatever. That type of move doesn't happen very often at the running back spot, even though Eckler's still very good, Petey.
Yeah, and it's always kind of fun to, everyone loves to say you don't pay running backs. You go through the draft. Austin Ekeler scored 18 touchdowns last year, and he put up 20 the year before. I don't know how many rookie running backs are walking off the stage and scoring 18 for that team the next season. So it might be $10 million, but you're getting your money's worth, in my opinion. Now, the highest paid running backs per year in the NFL right now, Christian McCaffrey is number 1 at 16. Kamara and Zeke, for the moment, are tied at 15, although that's going to change with Zeke. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, if you're a Cowboys fan. Dalvin Cook next, Derrick Henry after that. Chubb's a good bargain at 12. Aaron Jones is an overpay. I think Joe Mixon's a bit of an overpay now, looking back at it. Barkley's on the tag along with Jacobs.
I mean, think about this. This list is going to change because I don't think Elliott, Cook, Mixon are back on their same deals. Jones already had his deal restructured a little bit.
Yeah.
Paying running backs historically has not worked out very well. Ekeler was actually a really good deal for the Chargers, and he knows that, and now he wants a new deal. And we'll see if he finds one or not.
38 touchdowns in 2 seasons.
That's
great.
Insane. I mean, Zeke had a lot of scores, too. Like, touchdowns, can't always chase those. The Chargers have nobody else behind Austin Ekeler. Like, I'm sorry, Joshua Kelly, Isaiah Spiller, etc. Do we have faith in those guys?
No.
No.
You don't.
No.
And I don't think the Chargers are really in a spot where, hey, we can move on from Ekeler and take that draft pick and draft his replacement. A lot of your offense and success runs through Austin Ekeler. And for a team that had an all-time meltdown in the playoffs last year, maybe don't take away one of your best players. But it sounds like a trade is inevitable if a contract cannot be figured out. So what do you guys think? Will the Chargers end up trading Austin Ekeler? This is the pinned comment. So if YouTube sticks an ad break when I'm done talking, take advantage of it, get down there, and reply with Y for yes or N for no. Tom, do you think a trade ends up happening?
I'm going to go with 60% yes.
Okay.
I still think at its core, this is the Chargers calling the bluff of Austin Ekeler and saying, you know what, go find – you can't find a trade.
Yeah, it's
go see if you can actually do it.
Time is a flat circle because I remember when this happened with Melvin Gordon, what happened?
Couldn't find one.
And Austin Ekeler took over and never looked back. So could that be happening again after you just badmouthed Josh Kelly? Future Austin Ekeler. Let's get into our top 8, Austin Ekeler trade destinations. Coming in at number 8, it's the Arizona Cardinals. Why? There's no talent whatsoever on that roster outside of DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray. And even though this one seems like a head-scratcher, maybe if you want to give Kyler something to work with. I like James Conner. This one doesn't really add up to me as an absolute slam dunk option, but it
would
could
be more intriguing if the Cardinals were trying to be contenders.
Yes.
That's why they're 8 for the down on this list, because I think James Conner is fine as a committee piece, but he's not the only guy on that roster.
I like that, Tuck. Okay, talk me into it.
As a committee with Conner and Ekeler, if they were a contender right now trying to win football games,
right,
they've done nothing so far in NFL free agency. Darrell Williams, a free agent. Keontae Williams is a 6th-round pick. So I bet they draft somebody. But if they were a contender, they'd be a lot higher.
I'd buy more into that if Kyler was starting week 1. But he's probably not. Moving on, number 7, potential interdivision trade. The Broncos absolutely do need a running back.
I'll put this on there just for you.
Javonte Williams, he's going to miss some time next year. I think Denver should plan for him to miss the entire season. He tore his ACL and a lot more in October of 2022, similar to Saquon Barkley's injury and J.K. Dobbins, and they took more than a year to recover. So if he's not on track by November and you're slipping into December, maybe you just shut it down instead of tossing him out there with a bad knee. So
my idea here was, doesn't this feel like a Sean Payton move?
Yeah, I could
Getting
see
an Austin Ekeler. If they weren't in the same division, they would also be higher.
It would make a ton of sense then.
I think that negatively impacts it from a destination fit.
It's tough to envision an interdivision trade for one skill player going to one team to the next. Sometimes you see like guards get traded or something like that. Probably not going to be in the cards here. Now, we're going to break down more Austin Ekeler destinations in just a second. But today's show is sponsored by Fume. We all have bad habits, and we certainly know how hard they can be to kick those bad habits. Our sponsor, Fume, is on a mission to accelerate humanity's breakup from the bad habits that consume far too many of us. Fume is a natural diffusive device that uses plants and behavioral science to help you trade out your negative habit for a positive one. Now, I personally didn't expect a whole lot out of Fume when we got it here at Chat Sports, but the whole office agrees the minty sensation is very powerful and hits the back of the throat quite nicely. Now, the Journey Pack comes with 3 unique flavors, and you can see Tom and I holding our Fumes here. They're light, they're really small and manageable. Comes with white cranberry, maple pepper, and crisp mint. Now, I should mention Fume is not a vape. It's actually a non-electronic device designed to transform your negative habits. The easiest way to stop a bad habit is to switch to a positive one, and Fume is designed perfectly to do just that. So head to tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports to save 10% off. That's tryfum.com/chatsports with promo code chatsports. I got that link in the comments and the description of today's show. On to Ekeler destination number 6. It's the Bengals. Why? Tom, I think I'm going to steal the words out of your mouth. Will Joe Mixon be on Cincinnati next year?
Exactly. You could cut Mixon, probably not retain Samaje Perine, find a different kind of blocking back to help out on third downs, and have Ekeler come in at maybe a similar-ish price point. I suspect the Bengals want to get cheaper at running back. I'm actually a little surprised no move has been made as of this point with Joe Mixon. Chris Evans can also do some third down pass catching stuff for you if you're Cincinnati as well. But I like the idea of Joe Burrow, Austin Ekeler, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, etc. on offense. That's really fun for me. So
not too shabby. At number 5, it's the team with all the money to spend, the Chicago Bears. David Montgomery is a free agent. They like Khalil Herbert a lot. I think they'd be more than happy to ride it out with Herbert and Treston Ebner next season. He'll be entering his 2nd year. But hey, Justin Fields is ascending. You got DJ Moore. Why not add a really proven running back like Austin Ekeler? I think this one does have some legs to it.
Why pay David Montgomery when you can just put Austin Ekeler and Khalil Herbert as your 1-2 punch?
Yeah.
I like Herbert a pretty good amount there. Plug them in together, and now I think you got some really intriguing upside at running back. You have upgraded at wide receiver. You've given Justin Fields everything he would possibly need to prove he's the guy long term.
Right.
Which in theory he does, and then you move on from other players later down the road.
You add it to your offensive line in free agency a little bit, and you're going to probably add some more in the draft. Now, predict it for me. Where will Austin Ekeler play in 2023? As I stand here right now, your guess is really as good as mine. I think it's going to be one of these 4 teams we're going to look at in just a second, but beat me to the punch and let me know in the comments. Number 4, it's a team that traded away a star running back less than a year ago. The Carolina Panthers. If they want to go out and get a rookie quarterback, maybe give them something to work with that isn't Chuba Hubbard.
They need playmakers. Like that offense,
they need talent.
Without DJ Moore, has really taken a step back. You'll have a new quarterback in there. If you lose Deonta Foreman, it's Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear. That's not good enough. You're light on draft capital already. Maybe you take a receiver, day 2, and then you go out and acquire the running back via the trade market.
I think this could be a trade if it happens where we all go, that's a bit of a head scratcher, but they do need help. They do need talent. But if you're the Panthers, I don't think it's all that wise to invest in a near 28-year-old running back while you're trying to rebuild. Now, this next team I do think has some serious momentum behind it. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Because as Tom likes to say, insert name, great fit for Philadelphia.
Ekeler in that offense, I think, is a flawless fit. Not that it's hard to be a bad fit in that offense. I think Kenny Gainwell and
they like him a lot.
Ekeler is your 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to ever give a running back 90% of your touches. Looking at you, Pittsburgh, Najee Harris in his first year. I think that's a really fun duo there at number 3 on our list.
Right, and moving on to number 2, it's a team that has always been rumored to any running back for the last 12 months, the Miami Dolphins.
Well, funnily enough, as we sit here filming this 52 seconds ago,
get out.
The Dolphins just re-signed Jeff Wilson, too. So
who's better?
Ekeler.
Okay, so we're back on track.
We can still do it, I suppose, but Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson as a duo is fine.
Okay.
I think they're not paying that. Wilson is a 2-year deal worth up to $8.2 million, so maybe it's more like $3 million, but I think that's just kind of where they're at this stage.
So working on the fly here with Mostert and Wilson coming back, where do the number 8 Chargers, where do the number 2 Chargers now fall to on this list?
The Dolphins, you mean?
Yes, Dolphins, excuse me.
Put them in at 4, I guess. 5, maybe. Drop them down a few spots there.
Mm-hmm. So what draft pick is Austin Ekeler worth? Let us know. I think he's worth a 4th-round pick.
Sure, I think that's about right.
That contract's like you're doing the Chargers a bit of a favor. We got some big NFL news we'll get to in just a few minutes. But number 1 on our list is the Buffalo Bills. Why? Because this has been the last Avenger.
The Bills are always linked to the running back.
For.
It's a little annoying to me, frankly, because they've invested a lot in running backs. But they have 1.5 of those investments under contract right now. James Cook, 2nd-round pick, who I think would be a really great 1-2 punch alongside Austin Ekeler. Nyheim Hines did restructure his deal. He can come back as RB3/specialist there. You let Devin Singletary walk, and you add a really good fit alongside Josh Allen in Ekeler. He's a good fit for a lot of players. Go figure, right?
I mean, it would just be unfair. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Austin Ekeler.
Still need a wide receiver 2 in the end.
Gabe Davis.
He wasn't very good for them last year.
Oh, well.
Bills fans tell me they need another playmaker.
I don't want to hear Bills fans say they need anything. They've got a lot of good things right now.
Yeah.
So we do have some fun other coverage coming your way here, but that is our Austin Ekeler segment of today's show.